Welcome to Advocation X, episode number 40. Time for a newsworthy Trump broadcast. A special thanks and hello to all you beautiful thinking people out there. Before we continue, please help us further our cause and hit the like button. Subscribe for future content. Become a member and crush that bell while you're at it so you miss nothing. Disclaimer. Ours is an opinion channel. It is based, though, on facts. Your questions will be answered if you're a subscribed member of this channel. But don't forget, we're always welcoming your suggestions, even critical analysis. So, the topics to tackle here and now. CDC says, Wisconsin primary, Drumpf sycophants, stocks in the aftermath, the numbers. I am going to attempt to tackle this all for you right now. The CDC and top-ranking other officials, health officials, they're suggesting that everyone wear face masks now. Not because it will protect you from the virus. However, if everyone was to wear a mask, we would be protecting each other from us. And therefore, any of us that may or may not be affected would not be spreading the disease throughout our travels. So, if everybody wore a mask, it would be a benefit and perhaps help end this thing quite quickly and efficiently. But, guess who will not wear one? Guess who's declared that they will not wear one? You guessed it. You are correct. Donald J. Drumpf. Is this one of those do as I say but not as I do things? I fear it may be. So, moving on. The Wisconsin primary was forced through the courts to go on despite the physical distancing rules that have been put in place. The whole primary could have been done by mail-in ballot, as could any of the future elections that need to be taken care of. So the judgment by the Supreme Court to allow the congregating of people for the purpose of this election, barring the option of a mail-in ballot, in my opinion, was just asinine. It made no sense. The only reason this was even fought in court is because there's another upcoming election for a Supreme Court justice that certain individuals did not want to miss out on. And remember, if you can discourage people from going to the ballot, there's a good chance that the Trump side of things wins. So the more they suppress the vote by any means necessary, the greater their chance of actually succeeding at each and every ballot that comes on the ticket. So, let's move on. We all know what a sycophant is. So, let's talk a little bit about Drumpf sycophants. Now, they all made a truckload of money once they learned the impending doom of this super bad cold illness. Some of them went running out to sell a bunch of stocks that they knew were going to crash. So they siphoned out a huge amount of profit out of the market just in time to save themselves from losing a lot of money. The only way they got that information is by being part of that Trump circle, sitting in those briefings and hearing what was coming. Allowed them to rush out. They probably just ran out the door and made a phone call and had those stocks sold like immediately. So they got their windfall. The stocks fall. And what's going to happen on the other side of this, or close to the other side of this? They'll get the tip off. They'll reinvest tons of money at low cost for all the stocks they're looking at. And they'll make a boatload of money on the other side of the hill. This super bad cold illness is going to be a financial boon for many of those who are probably rooting for this illness to take the stock market down to its bare bones. Moving on. The United States of America has been alienating itself piece by piece until they will sit in such isolation while losing the benefit of providing a global currency as each and every country around the world begins to reflect on why they should be using the petrodollar and the American greenback. There are already rumors that some of the top producing countries in the world are ready to drop the petrodollar and the American greenback. Some are even talking about a gold standard coming back into play. We know what happens when people talk gold standard. Could we be entering into a horrible new era of wars? You tell me. Let me move on right now to the super bad cold illness and the world numbers. The total worldwide right now sits at 1,780,314. The active cases around the world are sitting at 1,267,456. All these numbers are give or take 1,000 here or there as things change minute to minute. The death toll is at 108,827, or 6.11% of total cases. That's not a flu. That's not a 0.2%. That's 6.11% of total cases are being resolved in the passing of someone's loved one. In the recoveries, they're at 404,032, or 22.69% of total cases. That leaves approximately 71% of cases unresolved. If you do the math, the carnage is devastating. It's a statistic that is mind-boggling when you look at the numbers of people that are potentially going to lose their lives while this progresses. So let me move on to the U.S. numbers. The U.S. numbers are a total of 532,879. Active cases are 481,849. The death toll is 20,577. And the recoveries are at 30,453. Now, you can all have your own take on this, but in my opinion, those numbers are a very grim reminder of the fact that the people losing their lives are not very far off the recoveries. You would hope to see the recoveries being approximately 10 to 20 times that of the deaths. But that's not the case here. The United States seems to be suffering exponentially more than many, many other countries in the world. The answer to that, I can't give it to you. I have no clue why their death toll is so incredibly high when compared to many other countries all around the world. And I've looked at the numbers everywhere. In many places around the world, the numbers are what most would call negligible. And then in a large handful of countries, they're devastating. But not quite as devastating as the US of A. Again, the UK, I didn't put their numbers here, but the UK is still in an absolutely terrible death toll to recovery ratio. It is dismal, the numbers there. I would say at this point, all the countries around the world should gather together and really assist the UK in breaking this down and then move to the next most crucial spot. This is the way, I think, to serve the entire world at its best. If you allow any one country to sink to a horrible depth, it will come back to bite you all in the you-know-what. So, with that, I'd like to offer my condolences that go out worldwide to all who have lost loved ones and who are suffering because of the super bad cold illness. I pray that you all come through this much stronger and more loving than you went in. It is going to take a certain amount of resiliency in order to keep your head up and your wits about you while you battle this crazy, unforeseen terror. But have no doubt, you will succeed. And what you do on the other side of this will truly matter and be visible from now on. Remember, folks, all of those essential workers who made the success possible should not be forgotten on the other side of the hill. We applaud them today and tomorrow. And this should not end when success is at hand. I believe these people need to be better valued in the future. And that includes those who served you at the fast food restaurant. Those who got your groceries loaded on the shelves and cashed you out at the end. They exposed themselves to so many people. And any one of those could be the one that brings about their battle. So remember, folks, leave your respectful comments in the right section. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for growing content, become a member, and crush that bell so you miss nothing going forward. Once again, I have to say, never give up and never give in. But please keep an open mind and do your research, because why? Knowledge is power. Gain that knowledge and maintain your power. So once again, thank you very much for joining us here on this channel, and we hope to see you often and regularly. Thank you. Till next time, please be safe, stay healthy, and do your best to stay happy.